All right. All right, everybody. Hello, everybody. Seeing if you guys are here, if you guys can hear us. Once again, welcome to another fun YouTube stream for things VTubers say. Hello, everybody. Welcome. And once again, we are joined by our co-host, Lady. Lady, could you go ahead and say hello? Make sure people can hear you.
Hello.
Nice. Hopefully you guys can hear her. Let us know if you guys can hear that. And yes, we are joined by our fellow general Twitch streamer here. That being a horror VTuber, Kabhaal. Hello. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good, False. How are you indeed doing?
It's another week. We got a lot of fun light news to go over with you, but of course we're gonna jump right into it. We're just gonna go ahead and get into it. So yeah, it sounds like chat can hear you. Awesome. And
I like how it was like it's two androids and their goth uncle. I'll accept that title.
So, yes, let's actually run it back a little bit because we last week had a guest, Pumpkin Potion, and unfortunately, due to a mayonnaise mishap, Lady couldn't make it for that one, but otherwise, it otherwise worked out.
Chat's saying I'm a little bit low. That seems to be a chronic issue with me. So if you want to bump my audio volume,
boop you up.
There you go.
Boop you up a little bit. No problem. All right. I'll get you. Pump you up there. There we go. 120. You guys can probably see that. All right.
All good now. Perfect.
Last week we had another guest, Pumpkin Potion, and I believe you two are aware of each other. Is that correct?
I would dare to say that Pumpkin and I are friends. Because we both do content creation talks like community coaching and things like that. We discovered each other and we became fast friends because Pumpkin is just an absolute treasure and a resource to the community that I'm extremely fond of, and she's actually very, very, very kind.
That was my impression because she name dropped you a little bit when we were talking on our own. Actually, afterward,
it was supposed to be about her.
So you did come up, and she was especially overjoyed with your very iconic laugh. Actually, she was like, "I love his laugh." That's his laugh. There's no building up. That's his laugh. That's him.
You want to hear a joke?
No.
Oh.
Go ahead, please.
No.
Lady, I want to hear a joke. I would love to hear a joke.
You deafen yourself, False. No. Okay, two magnets walk into a bar. One magnet goes up to the lady magnet and he's like, "Oh, I found you very attractive from the back, but now that I'm facing forward, I'm repulsed."
I can't escape it even on somebody else's stream.
All right, I'm turning on my volume again, or I hope the joke was good.
What? You muted me?
I just muted my volume. I wasn't listening. Magnets, how do they work? All right, so
I love that song.
let's get into it. You are a horror VTuber, self-labeled here as a caffeinated cult leader and hooded horror host.
Correct.
What does that entail for your content? Because you're, to my understanding, mostly a Twitch streamer. What could someone expect to see when they come to one of your streams?
Okay, so I have a sales pitch if you would prefer that I could do that.
Absolutely, please.
All right, so If you don't know anything about me or what I do, allow me to take a moment to introduce my insidious self. My name is Kabhaal, or you could call me Cab, and I deal in all things spectacularly spooky, to include menacing movies, terrifying TV shows, nightmarish novellas, sinister stories, abominable alliteration, chilling creepypastas, and many menacing more terrifying topics. I also deal in a bit of abominable art, ghoulish gameplay, visceral voice acting, and even talking about the terrifying taboo topics of chilling content creation in its many menacing mediums.
Okay, I'm just gonna pump. I'm just gonna pump in the audience applause there. Thank you. Yeah, that was hilarious, especially just watching the lady's face in amazement to that. Very quickly, that was awesome. Thank you, Twilight, for the 6 months and the tier 1 membership, saying so much purple, the color of perfection. Brought to you by the Eldritch Horror Awareness Group, LLC. Good stuff. Thank you. And Sweet Chasm saying, Patchy, I'm sold. Nice. So, that is quite a lot. I mean, so starting from the beginning, I mean, did you, when you came into this content creation, why be a VTuber? What was attractive to being a VTuber? Did you have any inspirations?
I had a couple inspirations. One of them is, it's fairly obvious because like she yeets so many people down the rabbit hole. That's, Mouse, of course.
Yes. Yes.
But another one that like really turned me on to the aspect of VTubing, especially being a horror VTuber, is a Japanese horror VTuber. You might know of her. It's Mimikamorph.
I don't know. Let me see here. So maybe let me just pull this up.
Tentacles and teeth on the booba.
Yes.
Yeah. Lady, you're so cultured.
I know.
I knew I enjoyed you for a reason.
Okay, one moment. I will pull her up right now. Here we go. Yeah. Very, very familiar face now. I didn't have a name to the face, but yes.
Wow, fake fan.
But yeah, it's actually those two are the ones who kind of like cemented the idea of me wanting to be a VTuber. I had done YouTube beforehand, making of all things Minecraft Let's Plays.
That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Yeah.
I did some 7 Days to Die Let's Plays as well. But I just really enjoyed kind of like cinematic storytelling content. I was like, I would like to stream because it seems fun, but I didn't want to do a face cam. And I'm kind of, how do I put this? I wasn't okay with how I sounded in a lot of videos. Like a lot of VTubers, I am self-conscious about my voice. A lot of broadcasters, I guess. I'm self-conscious about my voice, which is why I voice act all of my streams. But I, at the time, had the Adobe Suite when it had like, what is it, Adobe Character Animator in it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so I was like, oh, maybe I could do something with that. And I went to go look for somebody to make something for me. And I kept finding like VTubers. And I'm just like, what the hell is this VTuber? I don't know what this is. And then I like did more research into it. And like, Mouse was the first one who popped up. And I was like, I didn't know you could have this much energy behind an animated avatar. And I was like,
that's when she was probably bouncing around off the walls. That was the bounce off the walls Mouse era. Yeah.
This was the Kulikitaka Mouse era.
Yes. She can still do that, but I think she's like more expanded and well-rounded now, where it was like, it was almost exhausting going into a Mouse stream.
Yes. Like I adore Mouse in her content, but it was just like, I'm tired watching her.
A lot of folks in chat are saying, we love your voice, Cab. We love your voice. Lots of that here.
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. But so then I went looking. I was like, well, I'm a veteran of the small scale horror industry before I got into VTubing and things like that. So I have about 10 years working in commercial haunted houses. So horror is a big part of my life. And I was like, well, I wonder if there's any market for a horror VTuber. And then I stumbled upon Mimikamorph, and I was like, oh, there's a market. How
Oh, yes.
saturated is it? It's not. Because I'm really big into market and analytics and things like that. And so, I kind of always like look at the market, engage it. And so when I saw this, like, there is a deficiency of horror content creators in the VTubing scene.
That was gonna. That was the question what we were going to get into just a bit later, which is numbers, and we can dive more into that in a moment. But yeah, it is a interesting thing because originally just being a VTuber was a niche, and I personally could say I was like, oh, that's kind of how I looked at it too. I was like, I don't really feel like I'm going to be particularly one way or the other, and I don't see a lot of robot VTubers, right? That was how I started off as a robot. I was like, there isn't any robots out there when I came into the Western VTuber scene.
I remember that. I remember the first time you dropped your reference sheet and everything like that. Because I've been following you for a while.
Yeah, we've known each other for a hot minute, and it's always a thing where I've honestly, I don't know. I felt like we should have always been talking more, to be honest. But I've just always kind of wanted to like support you, like more behind the scenes, push this, because it was so unique what you've been doing. And even like your prior content. I mean, we can go into it. But did you want to make any shout outs to like any kind of your artists or?
I have a team of individuals that I work with. Some on a more consistent pace than others, but there's 4 individuals in particular that I work with consistently that allow me to do a lot of what I do, and that would be Psychotic. If you don't know who Psychotic is, you may know him better as somebody who works a lot with AI Candy. He does a lot of editing for her and things like that, and he's a veteran of the industry of about 10 years. He's a YouTube and like video editing wizard. I don't know how he does it. His knowledge base is expansive. Then there's also Salty Jub, who has lately gained a bit of infamy in the I say infamy, but infamy in a good way. And she is a longtime artist in the video game and tabletop RPG industry who has since made the jump to VTubing. And she does a lot of my art, a lot of my going live. She does like almost all of my going live artwork I post on Twitter. Is doing a lot of my backgrounds, did all my animated emotes, things like that. Salty is an absolute treasure, and the two of them together, I work with them to make horror animatics here on YouTube, which we then use for horror host segments over on Twitch. 2 individuals I also work with a lot are Party Demon S and Zozo Horror Show, and hopefully in maybe the next coming year I can bring them onto the team full time. Zozo's a horror VTuber as well. He's a demonically possessed animatronic clown. There's a lot of like kind of the more like culty, like conspiracy theories, the whack jobs of the internet. She delves into that. Amazing content, highly analytical mind, also extremely technically proficient. And then there's Party Demon S, who is a world builder, artist, just an all-around fun person with an amazing personality, who is literally one of my best friends. And just the 4 of them together, I don't think I could do what I do at the level that I do it at without their assistance.
And had you known them like before the VTuber experience here, or did you come across them in different ways?
Zozo is probably the one that I've known the longest, but I didn't know any of them prior to becoming VTubers. We all just kind of met up, and we had that moment where, have you ever had it where like you meet somebody and you just click with them, where it's just like the switch flips, and it's just like, now we're friends. No? Really?
No. How about you, lady? Does anybody know?
Huh?
No, I don't think that goes for either one of us. But that's cool. That's really good for you. That's friends. Who needs them, right, lady?
I have friends.
Anyways. That's awesome. It's a thing where I think I don't know. Yeah, it's just because of the content and because of the approach. sometimes you just find like-minded individuals, right?
Right.
But yeah. And so, kind of looking here, we of course have your Twitch here opened up here.
Ooh.
And this is fun. We have some fun stuff in the About Me that we're all blocking, but we have a whole other credits list here too. And we have some rules here. Those are always important. And this, I found one that was something that me and Pumpkin quickly talked about because she had a similar kind of rule here. And it's been kind of making its rounds. It's been talked about recently on Twitter, but it's a good one. No emotional baggage dumping was, a pretty clear rule that you had here in your chat. I've been very fortunate yet that I've not had that occur very much in my chat. And if it has been, I'm sorry, I'd missed it. But, and Pumpkin had a great kind of statement about it, and that, we're kind of more entertainment streamers first and foremost, and we're not really qualified professionals on this. I don't know if you had any kind of view on that or anything else you'd like to add to that.
It's very much like, I'll go ahead and be honest. I've only met one mental health professional in my entire time in content creation and like VTubing and stuff like that. And, that's a friend of mine, but like, he can't do that unless he's, in his proper state and, and things like that. Streams, Discords, and, like entertainers are not a substitute for therapy. And this is somebody who goes to therapy. It's not like I'm crapping on anybody's mental health. Like, mental health is absolutely important. But the fact of the matter is we are entertainers. We're such clowns on the internet. You're not going to go to a clown and be like, tell me how to fix my life problems. You're going to be like, no, Mr. Clown, make me laugh. And I think it's part of, especially for those of us who focus on community building, it can seem as something where, people can feel safe telling their problems. And that's okay. But the fact of the matter is that we as human beings, kayfabe aside, are wired to remember bad experiences. And so oftentimes when we talk about things, it's bad experiences. And that can kind of lead to this cycle of like, what is essentially like verbal doom scrolling. And
that's so I am straight up stealing that. I don't care. I'm just taking that for my own.
Go. I'm an idea guy. I put out ideas all the time, and I'm just like, here, take this. It's free. But yeah, no, and that's one of the downsides of content creation, especially those that are more community focused. And it's something that you can talk about things, but just being like, lay your problems upon my shoulders and I shall help you carry your burden. Like, no, like I've said it before and I'll say it again. Everybody's kind of dealing with their own crap. All right.
Mm-hmm,
and so you never know what somebody else is going to be dealing with. Or if something that, like you dump on another, you just dump in like a random place on the internet. Because that's essentially what our streams are. The random places on the internet. You never know if that's going to trigger somebody else or, like get their, bring up something bad that they're currently working through. And at that point in time, like you've not only laid your problems at somebody else's doorstep, but you've reactivated at somebody else's problems. And it's part of the reason, I have that rule in there is to be considerate of everybody. And if people ask me, I'm just like, look, I'm not qualified to handle this, but I can give you some resources. I generally send them places like Dr. K, healthygamer.gg, places like that, because these are qualified professional individuals that can help them with their things. And I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified. Like I said, I've only met one VTuber who is qualified, and he can't do it because of licensing issues and, practicing and things like that. And I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't expect him to unless he was getting paid, because that takes a certain type of individual to help shoulder and ease somebody else's burdens. And before I dig myself too much of a hole, that's about all I've got to say on it.
I feel like I'm throwing like a heavy subject on the matter right off the bat, but I think it's really an interesting thing to say up front, because just to your point, these kind of matters do require a real focus. And my impression is that, you know, people that generally reach out in that way are in some fashion, yes, maybe in a maybe even a light fashion, a parasocial relationship, right? They just want to open up. They think they are identifying with you, and because it was always surprising me. I didn't really understand it until I kind of made that connection. Like, wait a second, you know, you can feel like sometimes you can open up to your friends about these things. And when we're looking at these computer screens, it just feels like a more one-on-one experience and not something where you have, you know, hundreds of people, you know, watching you or in a room all together right there. So I understand now a little bit better from that kind of point of view. It was just always surprising. And I've been seeing more and more of this being discussed, especially recently.
Yeah, I've seen it as well, and you know, it's like, don't feel bad about feeling like you bring out a heavy topic. I one of my things that I've built into my brand is that I'm honest, often to a fault.
Oh, yeah. Let's get into that. Let's get into more here for you.
All right. Segue.
So, firstly, let's be honest with this. Breaking into the top 10,000 streams, we have Kabhaal here saying, it's been a milestone I've long looked forward to. While at the moment I don't think it's sustainable to hold, I'm still deeply proud of the community and thankful to everyone that's helped push us ever forward. Here with the evidence. There he is. There he goes. Yeah, again, congratulations on this. Very commendable. And I personally always found it's important to recognize your accomplishments like these. It used to be when I started, I was like, oh, I'm not about the numbers. I don't need to put this out there, but it actually is. These are important milestones I've found. Question. I mean, you mentioned, you know, you kind of look into analytics and things like that.
Yes.
And I noticed here you said you may not think this is sustainable. Any reason for that? Why would you think maybe you couldn't even go higher?
Well,
or do you? And you're being, you know, grounded about it.
A little bit of both. Truth be told, like I'm the type of person, when I do something that I love, I want to get better at it. And so like for me as a creator, that's very much, you know, in the realm of, oh, you know, like learning the market, learning the analytics, learning all the things like that. And I had to unplug my hands because it's been uncooperative. Sorry, no hands, everybody. But it's when I look at things from that perspective, I also try to be realistic about the numbers, realistic about the engagement. And I know like part of the reason I was able to get to that point, you know, where we broke into the top 10,000 was in this past month in March. I had a birthday stream, and that generated a lot of interest. A lot of people stopped by. A lot of people were very kind with raids and things like that. And so events like that can often skew your analytics. It's kind of the same thing with and I'm pretty sure you've talked about this before, but the idol culture of VTubing and the debuts. You can have like the debut bump, and then like it can set unrealistic expectations for engagement. And then when those expectations aren't met because that was a special event, it can then like breed this sort of like oh, I'm not doing very good, or I've done something wrong, or things like that. So no, it's a special event. People like special events, which is getting into this like you said, celebrating these milestones. I also think they are important because they are an event for people to celebrate, and it makes people feel like they are part of the event, and it makes them be like, hey, I was part of doing that, and people feel good about that. People like to be a part of things. That's part of why people like live streaming. It's why they like engaging with streamers and like doing the sound alerts and throwing things at you and soaking you on stream and turning you to a pixelated broken body that's floating into the void. It's because people like to be part of it. They like to be part of the moment. They like to be engaged with it and be like, I played a part in that. But the reason I didn't think it was sustainable is because, well, it was a special event. I can't do a special event every month. And I feel like it would be disingenuous to try and do so. And so, I expected numbers to pop up, and then like next month, I'm like, oh yeah, numbers go down. Numbers go down because it's natural. The hype has died down. There's not really, a big event. And, but they didn't. And now don't know what to do. I'm scared. False, hold me.
I mean, to that point, we have some fun things here in chat. Also, noticing lady admiring your robes here. Yes, good. It's also another point here. I wanted to ask in regards to being a horror VTuber. Does that make October any different? Do you see any difference in audience there, or was that kind of just more of the same Kabhaal experience?
We had a October 31st stream, and it was by far one of the best streams that I'd had at the time. And like there was an amazing outpouring of support. So like, yes, being like a horror VTuber, from like my one experience with October so far, which can be anecdotal because it's only been one time.
Right.
There has been a significant uptick in interest in, people wanting to see what you're up to as a horror, focused creator and things like that, because, 'tis the season. So yeah, it definitely, that's one of the things I was looking at is, doing events during October and kind of, having things ready for October as a horror creator it's definitely something that can work in your favor. And hopefully I can have more cool things for October this year as well, and maybe get some more data on that and be like, maybe we're on to something.
Anticipating it highly. Seeing some other folks here. We see Zozo. We see Party Demoness here in chat. Hello. And another fun comment I saw here in chat was, welcome back to YouTube, Kabhaal. Yeah. Welcome back. Yes. This is the cab that I remember as the YouTube talks here that we had here actually on YouTube, on the channel. Any plans with the channel at this time, or is it
we're working on content for it. One of the things I want to do with YouTube was, so I always preach about syndication. Syndication. Put your content everywhere so people can find it, because if you just hit go live on Twitch, well, the discoverability is kind of, it's not that great. It's not.
You
want to advertise in other places. And so one of the things that people normally do is they will like post clips and things on YouTube. I'm like, well, I want to do things a little bit different. I want to do something that was a bit more of a creative pursuit. And so like my latest video was a horror animatic, and it was kind of like, it was a test bed proof of concept for, having dramatic readings, but also have some level of animation and sound design and everything like that as well. And there it is.
Oh God. Oh, this is awesome. Einhander, thank you for the 5. I hate to do this so early, but lady, tradition must be kept, and thank you, lady, for the very nice head pats for our wonderful guest. This looks like work. This looks like a lot of work, actually.
Just because I'm a denizen of the dog don't mean I don't enjoy some head pats every once in a while. It's nice to be appreciated.
I think I saw a comment from Shoto last week where it was like, the masculine need to be wanted to be told you're a good boy and be head patted.
I would say it's not there. Right. That's all I'm saying.
Einhander with another 5. Thank you, sneaky lady. Thank you. So, this looks like a lot of work, actually. This animated creepypasta. But yeah, again, this brings me back to this curated content again. That once I saw how much effort so many ages ago now, it feels like, when you were putting in other kind of talks, you had some commentary videos even, right, on
yes,
a little bit of what was happening in the VTuber scene and such, and I enjoyed all those. I watched all those, actually. And,
really?
I did. I did. I'm serious. I'm serious when I say, like, I've been watching you for a bit of time too. So,
well, the feeling is mutual. I know I've popped the stream, I said before, but like I love being able to like pop over to your YouTube channel or pop over to the stream, and like the two of you, I can just like watch, and I'm just like, I know what's going on in the scene because I've had my head buried in work. At least to a certain extent.
Yeah, I mean, actually, talking to that, I mean, is there any other, you mentioned some of your associates and friends and things like that, but is there any particular other VTubers that you watch with any regularity, or even other content creators even?
There's a couple, like, and like you're one of them. I tend to look more often than not.
Yeah.
But like, there's a significant portion of folks that I do tend to watch with a certain amount of regularity. Pumpkin, like General Giga, Konzetsu, all of the folks on like Team Fantasy Inc. That's run by like Honey Goblin and Kimrai, like all of my fellow teammates on that. I have, there's a lot of folks that I will watch with a significant amount of regularity. I'm pretty bad about sometimes having like 3 different windows open. I'm watching 3 different people. I watch a lot of, Buff Pup and Shia. They're 2 folks I've kind of gotten to know a little bit, and they're just wonderful people that make amazing and hilarious content. Unfortunately, Buff and I broadcast generally at the same time, and so I normally have to go back and watch VODs, and it makes me sad. But it is what it is. That's the burden of being a content creator. Is like sometimes, you get so busy and you've got to do your own thing, and you can't go back to being just a viewer. But it.
Yes, yeah. I'm right there with you. Like where, I have my daily streams now, and it's a part where, after the stream, I'm kind of like, I both want to unplug, but I want to watch more VTubers now too. It's a stretch. It's a stretch.
It's a struggle.
I'm seeing Devin Nash being mentioned a lot in the comments here. Actually, say Devin Nash, Purple Man. You know it.
All right. So I used to be a very big. I would watch a lot of Devin Nash's streams, and for those of you who don't know who Devin Nash is the CEO of Nova, which is a content creator agency which represents such large creators like Amaranth, one of the largest creators on the Twitch platform.
Yes.
And other folks like that. And he's a longtime content creator himself, and he does a lot of community talk and market talk and things like that. But he doesn't stream on Twitch anymore. He's currently boycotting the platform due to personal disagreements.
Mostly with their stance on gambling, I believe. Yes.
Most of it like the stance on gambling. Which look, Devin's the CEO. He can do what he wants.
Right. I mean, to him, the whole streaming was just more for his fun than anything else. Yeah. A really illuminating figure, and I guess I just have the singular disagreement with him on the multi-streaming, which he's really adamant about, which I'm not so much in my own experience, but that's fine. Otherwise, a really interesting channel to watch.
I also tend to disagree with him on that. I mean, if you're just starting out, I think it's a good resource to see where your support comes from, because sometimes you don't know.
Right.
I started on YouTube. I was a YouTube partner before I was even an affiliate on Twitch, and I started streaming on YouTube and things like that. And I would multi-stream because I didn't have an affiliate contract. I could do that, and it just turns out the support was on Twitch for what I was doing, and so that's why I moved over to live streaming on Twitch. And multi-streaming, I took about 3 months to, get a good, in-depth analytical, gauge of it. I was like, all right, I have my data. The data says this. It consistently says this. And so I made the jump to Twitch as my main content platform. And, well, the rest is a horrifying history.
Yeah, I dabbled in multi-streaming for about a month or two myself, just when I was very, very early into what I was doing, and it was inconclusive because it was like, oh, some days I have a few dozen here, and some days I have a few dozen there. So it was just confusing at the end of the day. So we're more so Twitch now because I found the revenue generation on Twitch is so much superior to YouTube.
Yes.
Just getting even memberships, getting, again, things like that are just so much more incentivized on the platform.
It is.
And again,
it definitely is. Twitch does a very good job at kind of like gamifying support.
Yes,
and
yes.
And therefore making it, engaging, and you want to do it and things like that. YouTube is definitely behind the curve. And behind the curve, not curb, behind the curve, they're looking behind like that big green power box. Everybody knows what that is. They're definitely behind the curve in that regard. I'm excited to see what they will do to try and maybe change that. But for anybody who's a small to medium creator, Twitch, it's the superior revenue generation platform. It just is.
Yeah, if you're an independent VTuber of some sort, it's an easy recommendation right now. We'll see. I mean, maybe these long awaited updates to YouTube will come, and we'll be eating these words sometime even this year. But I would be surprised if it happens anytime soon. Honestly, it's so strange because Twitch themselves they've not really done very much in the last 2 years to update their actual platform. It's just there's no other real kind of competition or anything like that as it goes. So yeah.
And like, I'll be completely honest. If YouTube can make me eat those words, I'd be more than happy to, because guess what? I'm monetized there as well. I've got zero problem with it.
But we would like to thank everybody who is a member here on YouTube. We do try to keep up at least one YouTube stream a week. I think it kind of makes it special and more focused, actually. So it's nice and chill here. Thank you guys very much. And so far, no problems with the bots this stream. So we're good on that. We'll see how that runs. All right. So we have also something else. That's always it surprised me. I don't know why I was surprised by this, but you're an artist. You are an actual illustrative artist.
Guilty as charged.
Here we have a Lord Commander Chaos. Awesome work here. Is this a hobby? Is there any training? How often do you keep up with this, if I may ask? The artwork.
So, I've been drawing for about date myself for about 20 years. And that's just, just drawing because I enjoy the artistic pursuit of, like drawing. I haven't been formally trained. I'm completely self-taught. Like I went to like art classes in school, and that was it. I have no higher education, illustration, things like that. I am recently new to digital art. I got into digital art, I think, at the beginning of 2021. So I've been getting used to that and how the medium works. But I did analog art for a very, very long time.
It looks like Lady is... Lady, are you admiring something? Are you... She just has this astonished look on her face for the past like 10 minutes.
Art. Art.
Speak for yourself, D. I've seen your art. It's amazing. I love it.
Again, this is something I always try to bring up. It's like I if there's anything I really push besides getting me those stories is if she has time to keep up with art. I've just found from what I know from illustrators, and the sorcery that is illustration is that the more you keep up with it, the more it evolves. Yes. Cesario, thank you very much for the 5. No bots in this stream. That's true. FalseEyeD last words. Whoops. Blank myself out of existence. All right. Fantastic. Love seeing this on display. And also we have this, a free asset.
Oh, yeah. Opium tank.
That's web grade.
This is web grade copium.
Yeah, web grade copium for all of your VTuber needs.
We had this, so we have another one actually. I will be showing off here, but any anything that spurned on this creation, or was it just kind of spur of the moment?
So I have a friend in Cottontail, VA, who is a
oh yeah, Cottontail, yeah.
Cottontail. She's a voice actress, but like one of the bits that she does sometimes is she'll pull out a copium tank, and she's just like, and I was just like, I look at it, I'm just like, Cotton, I want to make you your own tank. It like matches like her aesthetic and everything, maybe, you know, like a little, just like a color scheme change. And I was like, what if I just made like a general asset? What if I just made like a copium tank for other people to use? And so I like sat down one day and I just hammered this out, and I was like, you know, here you go, internet, free asset. People can use it how they want, because it was a fun thing to draw. It let me work on my transparency. And actually, let me see if can I do this? I think I can do this.
About to get a good huff of this.
You're about to get a good huff of that copium.
The copium must flow is what I'm seeing here in the comments.
It must. Like sometimes you need it. Sometimes you just need to get a good whiff to get through the day. Ah, here we go. Oh, this is about to be giant. Oh no. Oh, it's so big.
We need this today.
We need this today. So yeah, it was just, you know, it's an asset that was like super transparent, and you know, everybody can use it. And so, you know, you pull. Sometimes you're having a moment, like maybe you're playing some Elden Ring, and you're just like, I'm gonna get through this boss. I'm gonna get through this boss. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna get through this boss. And they're like, I'm not gonna get through this boss.
Just as a quick aside, how's Elden Ring been for you? Because I've been talking with some other IRL friends that've been playing it, and there's just portions where they're wandering around and they're like horrified by random creatures that they find in this game. As a horror VTuber, has that happened to you, or?
Oh, definitely. There's been some moments where it's just like something will pop up. I'm like, oh, that's terrifying. And I'm just like, I think I'll go the other way. It's like, you need to go this way to progress the story. I'm like, no.
And admittedly, we're being a little, I think we're being a little bit more PG about our reaction as to what it actually was. But yes. Yeah.
I'm assuming you saw the clip.
I think I saw that clip where it was like, that's the exact reaction all my buddies have been talking about, where they're just wandering around and they see something in the distance. It's like, I shouldn't be here right now.
Pretty much. But like, no, I know a lot of people, they're just like, oh my god, Bloodborne was amazing. And I think Bloodborne is probably one of the best instances of, like, you know, body horror and like cosmic horror in a video game to date.
That cosmic horror turn. I mean, spoilers a little bit. We won't go too into it, but it has one that's startling, actually. Yes.
And I'm glad that they took some of that DNA from Bloodborne and they put it into Elden Ring. Because I think it sells the dark fantasy, and I am a huge fan of dark fantasy. So like for me, Elden Ring, like are there moments where I'm just like, nope. Yes, but they're also just like I want to like geek out and look at the designs on monsters and be like, look at what they did here, look at the design choice here, and oh my god, and then this hand has too many fingers but it moves like a spider and it's extremely disconcerting. I love it and I hate it at the same time.
and they move so wildly too. I think it was oh goodness, what was it? Plague of Gripes always has some kind of description of like From Software enemies where it's like, okay, just take a bunch of like stick a bunch of fire hoses on enemy and then let them, you know, fill them up with water and watch them just wildly erratically flip all over the place. That's like your typical From Software boss.
Yep, pretty much.
We also have this here. This is coming from ARKA, and I don't know what is this? Is this a thing? Is this something that we should acknowledge, or should we move on?
Should have known there was going to be a gotcha moment. I should have known. You're a consummate host and broadcaster. I should have known you would do this to me.
Perhaps there's a name for this.
Yes, there is. It's affectionately known on the channel as Kabhaal. And I've exiled it to the land. Ah, no! Not cute.
Cute VTuber Kabhaal. I'm just going to change the title of the stream here. Cute VTuber cat. Cute cat VTuber Kabhaal. There we go.
This is my life now.
This piece comes from, excuse me if I mispronounce this again, Erica, giving us some fan art here of our greatest cult leader, but with cat ears. Yeah. I don't know. Has this been a thing, or is this...
It has. So, one of my moderators, DJ Ghost Pop, she is also a fledgling VTuber and artist, and she... Do you remember when the Jacko pose trend was going around?
Oh, yeah. No, we covered that extensively for a long time, actually.
Well, luckily it didn't get much publicity, but there was one of me, except I was a cat girl. And that kind of just like kicked everything off. And I find it hilarious, but I hate it. And so now it's just like, we're going to draw Cab as a cat. And I'm just like, could you not? And they're like, no, I think we will.
Everything's better with cat ears, apparently, here on in the VTuber scene, at least. Yes.
Apparently.
We also have this insane work. I have the audio off, but I am going to play the animation itself here.
Oh, yes.
This was what, just yesterday when this was posted.
Yep.
This is insane.
Insanimate has been working on that for a while, and to see it like come to fruition, it's the community's scarily skilled.
Insanimate saying, made an animation of Kabhaal. This is an application of robe and drapery studies, as well as trying to draw as close to the model as I could. Yeah, and along with that, he also had shared also a little bit of the making of with some rough animations earlier last month. Burrito Slap, thank you very much for the 20. Hate to slap and run, but gotta at least say a quick hello. Well, thank you very much, Burrito Slap. Thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, this is incredible. I don't know. This is like above and beyond here from what I saw.
I've talked to Insanimate, and I wanted to ask if I could possibly use it as a stream alert because it's
Lady has no words. Her mind is bending and twisting on itself.
Go back to the rope.
Okay. Yeah,
you can see what's under the robe.
Yeah, you can see the muscular body.
The muscular body and the pelvis.
Nobody gets to see what's under the robe. This is not canon.
I see it.
Perfect start of screen. Yeah, very, very almost ready for a transparency effect. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. This just blew me away so much. We had to show it, of course. And I don't know. I mean, had you known Insanimate before, or?
Yes, Insanimate is actually a wonderful member of the Violent Sign community, and they've been since they started this project, they've been sharing it like on the Discord and on art channels, and it's been fun to watch them put it together and experiment with like they were saying like the cloth and drapery studies and trying to get everything to like flow right and look good. I was like, watching it has been both intimidating and inspiring. Because I just recently learned how to make animated things as well, so I've been tinkering with it, but not to this level, not even close.
I think that's a great way to say it. You know, it feels intimidating to me too whenever I get any piece of fan art. I'm like, what? Huh? No, I just talk about VTubers. What are you doing? No, whoa, let's slow down here. There's so many other VTubers to make art of. What are you doing?
Yeah, why would you give this absolutely amazing and skilled broadcaster who works so hard to find stories and keep the community up to date on the ongoings in a way that is most of us, you know, can't do ourselves? Why would you ever hold on? Why would you ever give them fan art? Why would you ever give them fan art?
The winking. Can we talk about just very quickly your models here, because you know, 2D, 3D, it all looks like beautifully combined there. And again, I know I say to Pumpkin and you two kind of utilize your hands so well, more than really any other VTubers I know of, actually.
When they want to work.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, did that take a lot of training with your Ultra Leap, or you know, has it been just something? Are you animated that way? Because that's what Pumpkin was telling us last week. She's already animated that way. So it was very natural for her to do this.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm the type of person, like, you can't see it now because my hands are unplugged because my Ultra Leap is dying.
Yeah.
But I actually, even in moments like this, like part of the reason I have so much like head movement and shoulder movement is because I'm talking with my hands. And that's something that comes from like my time in the haunt industry, is because oftentimes I would wear a mask of some sort. And so I wouldn't be able to convey things with my face and expression and stuff like that. I also have a very neutral face naturally, which is why Cab's face is built the way it is so any expression I make can be like exaggerated and like really stand out against like just the black backdrop that is, you know, the inside of my hood. But I'm very like animated with my hands. I like to talk with my hands. I do a lot of, you know, hand motions to emphasize things, or, you know, like transition into another topic, things of that sort. I also do a lot of the thing that's taken training and time to get into is actually do like, you know, like when I put like a finger to my chin, like I'm thinking, or, you know, I look like I'm you know, like, you know, scratching, you know, my face or something like that, or, you know, I take a sip from, like, you know, like I have a coffee mug on my model that I can pull out, you know, and because of the proportions of my model, they don't line up correctly. Because Cab is very, very, very long. He's a very noodly boy. And so that took a bit.
Naruto Uzumaki? Naruto Uzumaki just dropped on us too. The Naruto Uzumaki, thank you.
Thank you, lady? Question mark?
She's gone. She's gone.
I'm flattered.
She's just gone.
Oh no! I can't believe we just watched Lady die.
Oh well. Moving on.
Moving on.
As I said, I have probably some quick questions after our stream here. But you had this update here yesterday too. Finished my taxes. Not only is it a huge weight off my shoulders, but also had this show up. I had pre-ordered. It's so purple. Yeah, the fantastic HD model here, and yes, one of the high grades. And then,
yes.
but so two things here. Firstly, yeah, I mean this has been again somewhat of a success of you that, you know. And I can state the same. I still have to actually file taxes. It's so intimidating. And it sounded like, just from what we discussed, not to go into this too much, but not easy either, is it?
It's, I wouldn't say that's not easy, especially, you know, like, look. Certain companies that help people do taxes are, from a business perspective, they're snakes. But the fact of it is it does, like, you know, like demystify a lot of, you know, like taxes and stuff like that. It helps But like I'm openly like transparent with my income and everything on stream. That's also because I do a lot of content talk, and I use that, I put myself out there so people can ask these questions and they feel comfortable asking questions. But yeah, content creator taxes are they're interesting. I say interesting. They're interesting. They can be extremely intimidating for somebody who has never done something like that before. I ran a small business before I got into VTubing, making props for like LARPs and like conventions and things like that. Fun fact: I have made props for convention appearances of celebrities such as CJ Graham, Steve Dash, both of who have played Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th movies, and also Tony Todd, who played the original Candyman.
Oh, yes.
So that is like where the background that I come from as well. And so I'm used to small business taxes. But even then, like the sheer amount of just like receipts to keep with being a content creator, because like you want to keep your receipts for everything. You commission somebody, you want to keep the receipt. You buy like a USB cable to replace something that's gone bad, you want to keep the receipt. And there was a lot, and trying to get all of those together and get them like properly categorized and make sure that you're still abiding by at least US tax law, and you're properly putting things in the right space. Like it's intimidating, it really is. And it's something that I hope people have looked into, that they've armed themselves with that knowledge, because it would break my heart to see emergency subathons. I owe money to the IRS, so we're doing a subathon.
Yes. I love this comment from the Smoking Man. Someone needs to make a tax accountant VTuber. Now that is a true horror VTuber.
Taxes are scary.
Party Demon is also saying, can confirm he was yelling in my DMs about it. The man was a mess.
It's true. I was just like, man, there's so much. How do I do this?
But at least it looks like you're out of the tunnel there on the other side of this. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, I made sure to give Uncle Sam his cut, and I should hopefully be okay. No, I do not have tax exempt status for being a religion. I looked at the paperwork technically. Fun fact. I looked into it because for the lulz.
Yeah.
If I were to do a 5-minute sermon on every stream, I could technically qualify as a televangelist church and be tax exempt, but then I'd have to pay myself as an employee, and I don't want to mess with the paperwork.
That is brilliant. Only 5 minutes. Does it have to be at the beginning, or can you put it anywhere?
It just has to be anywhere.
Wow.
Like, you just have to, I have to have like a 5-minute sermon about the gaming gods and how we're trying to usher in an age of madness, darkness, and memes, and probably list myself as a non-denominational religious organization. An actual cult. Oh. I have a friend that's very good at like business paperwork and LLCs and everything like that. And like, he was the one who turned me on to it. And I was just like, he's like, you could actually do this if you wanted to. I'm like, what? It's ridiculous.
That is mind-blowing. Yes. Cesario, thank you again for the 5. There was a tax agent wrestler in the WWE in the 90s. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a tax accountant VTuber as a joke. Also, I think WrestleMania was last night or something. Anyways, I think actually someone in my Discord was actually at WrestleMania last night. Actually, was sharing some pictures. I don't know. I'm still wrapping my head around everything you've just said. It's got me thinking, but in all the wrong ways. So let's see here. I like this comment. I think this was on Mod Appreciation Day. This was on Mod Appreciation Day. Not only am I a streamer and horror host, I also am the worst mod on Twitch.
It's true. I'm a horrible mod. I don't know why people make me a mod.
Are you any kind of dedicated mod for anyone, or is it just kind of like you're?
Yes, I'm a dedicated mod for like several of my friends. Zozo Horror Show, Party Demoness, I think they may be the only two. No. I think there's some other channels I'm a mod on. Maybe, I'm not sure. But see, there you go. That's why I'm the worst mod on Twitch. I don't even know who I'm mod for. I don't even show up for the streams half the time. Or if I do, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not going to do anything.
Because
I need to ban this bot. The other mods will take care of it.
Right. And Zozo Horshow, thank you very much for the 5, saying, from one robot to others, y'all are great. Glad to see Bob Hall getting interviewed. Thank you for the 5, Zozo. Thank you so much.
My name is Bob Hall, and I do Twitch modding and Twitch modding accessories.
It's been brought up, but again, you've been open about. This is more of a performance in a way for you. Is this exhausting in any way, doing the Kabhaal kind of voice or a quote unquote act, if you will?
It can be. Like one of the things is that I struggle with breathing issues. I have lung damage, second stage COPD, which reduces my lung capacity and efficiency. And then it's also aggravated asthma on top of that, and I have chronic bronchitis because of all this mess. And so like I'm working with a partial deck of cards here. But it can be exhausting, but not because like the act in and of itself is exhausting. It's because of my own physical limitations. And so like sometimes folks will notice like when we start to get into a longer stream, I start to get like brain fog and I start to like kind of become less responsive. And it's literally because like I'm being hit with fatigue. And I'm just like slowly like disassociating because my body's like, you have no more energy and oxygen. Stop it, you silly man. But I love it so much that I'm just like, I don't want to.
As someone who effectively streams every day now, I can say it's just there is a mental fatigue there too, an element to it, of course, too. That's just like, yeah, today is just, it doesn't feel like I'm firing on all cylinders.
Definitely.
It's something that it's actually, I mean, it sounds simple to explain, but until you actually feel it, it's hard to actually give you guys like the full scope of what that means. And sometimes you can just feel it even before you go live, like, it's not going to be the day. I've had that turn on me though. I've had a number of days where it's like, I'm not feeling it. And then I get into the stream and immediately my chat is there. They're ready for everything. And by the end of the stream, I feel even better. That's actually happened. It's so strange.
Yeah. No, I've experienced that same thing as well. Where like I will wake up and like I'm just like so like the it's not something I like to talk about a lot. But it's something I like to use as like context is, you know, that I have several like physical disabilities as well that affect me. And so like I have rough days more often than not.
Mm-hmm.
And I will often be like, man, I gotta stream and I gotta stick to my schedule. I gotta get out there. I gotta do it. I just gotta do it. You know, I gotta go out and put on the show must go on. But then I'll get into the stream and things will get going and chat will get going and people will be like, scream, Pepper Noodle Man, look at my support. And I'm just like, stop it. And I'm just like, and like the switch flips and like you're just in the moment and then like the stream goes off and you're just like
dead. Yeah. Unplugged.
Yeah.
Just frozen. You can't even get out of the like, get up, get out of the chair, do any of that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I stream from a recliner. I just fall asleep.
Nice. I guess
I lean back and
I mean, how about you, lady? I mean, because I know like you have a lot of IRL demands and things like that, but I don't know, is it just your youth or what allows you to go for like a 10-hour stream like you did last night? Like it's
Escapism.
Escapism. It seems like you like longer streams like that. Am I crazy, or have I pushed you into doing something like that? I apologize if that's the case, but
oh, you're so cruel. How could you do that to lady? Lady's precious. Lady is wonderful. I enjoyed thee.
But seriously, I mean, Party Demonist, thank you very much for the 5. Saying, Scream Purple Pool noodle, do it. Thank you again, Party Demonist. Thank you so much
Wonderful.
for the live thing.
Thank you, man.
That. False to slave driver confirmed. That was confirmed ages ago. Come on.
I'm sorry, D. I'm sorry. One day you'll usurp him. You'll become the leader of the broadcast.
No, thank
I believe.
you.
I was literally, we were talking about this before we went live. Like, I was up way too late. It was like 4:30 in the morning, and I looked at Twitch and was like, "Why is my channel live?" And sure enough, because literally at the end, lady was like, "Hey, I want to stream." And I was like, "What are you going to stream?" She's like, "I'm going to talk about Lightning McQueen." I was like, "I don't know what that means." What he's? I demand an explanation. Didn't really get one.
Lightning.
Oh.
From Final Fantasy 13.
So I just have to accept that it's just going to be what it is. I'm okay with it. It's fine.
What are you going to stream? I'm going to talk about Lightning McQueen. Can I get an explanation on that?
No. No. Also, we have seen you as a guest a few times, I believe. Quite a few times, actually, on the Wary 101 and the group here. You know, has this, would you say, you know, my impression of this group is it's 100% improv. I don't know. Is there not to pull the curtain back too much, but I mean, is there any readiness or preparedness, or is this just kind of you're thrown in and kind of expected to respond? Not to pull back the curtain, you know, like you said too much. The only preparedness is Chaka being the absolute content god that he is. And getting everything to work together. That's, as far as I know. The rest of it, it's just all improv. It's just people bouncing off of each other and being in an environment where they feel like they can, you know, like bring their best show to bear and just create absolutely amazing and wild moments. And the fact I've got to be part of it as many times as I have is something that I cherish deeply, because like Taka is somebody who I committed violence on my microphone. Sorry if you heard that. Is somebody that, you know, I deeply respect, because like he's been in the game for like 15 years, a decade and a half, and the man is a wealth of knowledge and just, you know, insight. And it's been a pleasure to create content with him and, you know, get to talk to him a little bit and, you know, learn from him. And like I know we had talked about earlier before the stream started, but it was like, you know, he one of the things he told me was just like, look, I've been in this for like 15 years, and he's like, my stream's held together by duct tape. And I'm just like, wait, what? And he's just like, yeah, no, that's all of us. Like some people just like, I'm new and everything's scuffed and I'll never be as professional. It's like, no, you're just as professional as me or like Chaco or like somebody else. Like everybody's got scuff. Every stream's held together by duct tape. It's okay. That's the thing, is like, we're all, there is no, well, maybe there is a school for this. I wouldn't go to it because it seems like it'd be kind of a scam. But there really isn't a quote unquote school for content creation, because it's an art form. Like everybody has their own way of doing it. And part of figuring out that own way to do it is, hey, I'm going to do this and it's going to mess up and break. And then I have to figure out how to unbreak it. Hello to Froggy Law, Get Wrenched. Thank you very much for joining. That's kind of our thing. We don't have VIPs over here on YouTube, so I just mod like half of the VTubers I know at any time. And also, yeah, I saw this Niji Sanji made one. Yeah, that's true. And Niji Sanji actually has the Virtual Talent Academy now. So it's believed that anyone that actually becomes like an official Niji Sanji Japan member has to go through this VTA kind of program they have now, actually. We just had 3 new members join Niji Sanji Japan from that talent academy, and they have now actually applications up for the 2nd round of this academy. So there's that's a very, very formal thing, but they're I guess it's a little more expected because they have such a you know, they're expected to perform on a certain level and expected to do so many duties that are expected. So that's a little more understandable, I suppose.
Oh, but definitely. And like, yeah. You know, Niji Sanji as an organization, they have they have like their own certain standards. So I feel like, you know, in that case, like them having an academy and something like that is more practical than it's just like, this is a general content creator academy. And it's like, but everybody has different styles of content and different stuff. But Niji-Sanji's like, no, like this is people that work for us. You know, they broadcast in our style with our models, and, you know, they have collabs with other people that are, you know, right. company. So that makes more sense. That makes a lot more sense.
We also had this this asset I saw make its rounds a little bit here too. Could you maybe just give us a quick rundown of this one, if you may?
All right. So when you talk about, you know, like people that I watch often, like some of the individuals that I watch often are both, you know, it's Taka and Zentreya. And, you know, both times when I've been in like the Elden Stream Rings, Elden Ring streams, Elden Stream Rings, Elden Ring Fit stream, I don't know. When I've been in the Elden Ring streams, they've just had to deal with like backseaters that just like made the experience unfun. And like it like getting to see people that I like respect just like have their environments made unfun by people just like, you're playing the video game that you paid like $70 for wrong. And it's just like, it's
literally an open world game. They can do what they want with it.
It's
just game.
Yeah,
why you have to be mad?
It's just game. Why you have to be mad? Like it was disheartening. And so I was just like, I don't even know why I want to stream this game, because that doesn't seem fun. And like if you're not having fun, like I kind of feel like, what's the point?
We have Mika from Niji-Sanji Indonesia. Hello, Mika. Hello. Saying true backseaters can be very unplugged. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
When they're so dedicated. And also very quickly, just want to say again, belated happy birthday again. So thank you very much for joining. Oh, looks like we have Honey Goblin here. Hello. Lots of fun friends here today.
I can't believe you use swords and wear armor in a from soft game. I know. I'm a filthy casual. But yeah. So I saw that happen for a lot of folks, and I was just like, you know what? You can put like the no backseating like tag on your stream in Twitch, but like a lot of people who come in, they're gonna backseat. They're not gonna look at the tags anyways. So I was like, you know what? I'll make a sign. And I'll literally hang it on the stream. And like it was an idea that came from Taka. Like he was like, you know, like don't make me tap the sign. I was like, all right, well I'm taking that and I'm reutilizing that in my own style. So I have it hanging up behind me on the stream. I'm just like, don't make me tap the sign. And sometimes people are also just like, here's $25, get good scrub. And I'm just like, it's something fun for people to like tinker with, but at the same time, it's also like a visual, like on-screen reminder for people to be like, hey,
yeah,
don't come in and be a dick.
This was a fun post. Maybe we're showing our age a little bit, but I know I like games that make you suffer. Behold, one of my favorite childhood games,
yes!
Karnov, the arcade hit, now available at home on the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh, good old Data East.
I'm not going to play this video because I don't know. It would probably throw off the stream. YouTube probably wouldn't like it if I played it, but this
probably not. My military history comes to bite me in the butt sometimes. I can be rather foul-mouthed.
But it was a good point all the same. You had a very, very pointed talk here.
I'm very opinionated.
But very uplifting as well. I didn't know if you wanted to take a shot at summarizing. I mean, maybe it wouldn't do it justice, but
I can take a shot at summarizing it. So essentially, like one of the things, and I see this a lot in like the VTuber space, is people will downplay themselves a lot. And they will look at people and they will fall into like this kind of realm of unrealistic expectations. And they'll be like, oh, this person is so talented. This person is, they have this amazing talent that allows them to do this thing. And I'm just like, honey, that's not a talent. That's a skill. Like, that person's been out there for years. That's why they're good at it. It's like, you haven't even started. That's why you're not good at it. Like, there's a saying that I'm a fan of. It's a master has failed more times than amateurs ever tried. And that's really the truth for like a good majority of things. Is like, you'll see the people out there that are just like absolutely killing it. And what you don't see is all the times that they've just made a complete fool of themselves, or they have just like absolutely abysmally failed and like something has tanked. Like, you don't see that. And you don't it's like with voice acting, you don't get to see all the bad takes. You get to see the finished product. You get to see, what is the culmination of like hours, years, decades of effort. It's the same with art, which I'm sure Lady could attest to.
Sounds like she wanted to. That's what Lady does. It's like it sounds like she wants to say something, and then it's like, oh, she's just waking up. Don't worry about that.
Oh. No, I guess this is.
Please share. Feel free.
It's just a quote that reminded me of with this like whole talent thing. I don't know how much of a stretch it is. It was like when like smart people learn from everything and everyone. Average ones from experience, and stupid ones have all the answers.
I like that.
We also have
I like it a lot.
We have Honey Goblin with one of my favorite quotes. I think I recall hearing it also from Adventure Time. But sucking at something is the first step at being good at something.
Yes.
It's a crucial step along in this point. And Black Blood, thank you very much for the 5. Something Taka said once is not to compare your step 3 to someone else's step 72 or something along those lines. Absolutely. Yeah, they're at a different part in their journey here. Again, I'd highly recommend if you guys can check out Kabhaal's Twitter and give this a play because he is very, very passionate, is what I'll say, about people not putting themselves down so early on, especially into their content creation career, especially.
It's frustrating to see because Oh, go ahead, Lady.
Oh, no. I was gonna say, like, to add on to that, it was like I usually I remember I had this quote that really helped me back in 2020, where it's like, it's okay to take 2 steps forwards and 1 step back because your old or autopilot habits, or what was usually done before, have been replaced, even if it's just slightly. So it's like,
yes!
The whole don't compare to a 7 foot, and even if you do, let's say, head over to more than 1 leap, let's say you make a big leap and you're tripping a little bit backwards, that's okay. It's normal.
It is. One of the things that really drove this mindset home for me was I'm sure both of you know AI Candy. She did a video. I think it was a year of VTubing in retrospect or something like that. And one of the big things that she talked about was failing forward. And it just that's just become part of my vernacular at this point. Is failing forward, because here's the thing is you can fail and you fall on your face and you stand back up, but if you fail forward, you still made 3 feet of progress. You still made progress. You're learning from it. And I see so many wonderful, amazing skilled creators that just don't give themselves enough credit, and then at the first sign of resistance, they're like, well, this was fun. I guess this isn't for me. And it's like, you just started. Why you just started. Why are you quitting? And they're like, no, this isn't working out. I'm like, you failed 1 time. That's okay. You make amazing stuff. You just don't have a lot of experience at it. And then they disappear, and it makes me sad. It breaks
does.
my tentacled heart.
I think another really last example I'll comment on was because I think about it a lot, was when we were doing the partner push with the FalseEyeD channel, and even though we got it at or like he got it, we got it, I don't know. At like the first application submission, there was something that really stood out to me when False was like explaining to himself. He's like, I may have just started back on Twitch like just like recently, but I've been doing this, like I've had like 2 years history of a background in the like live streaming here on Twitch. So it's just like if anyone was to start like right now, they would be like, there's that gap of experience, as you said, that you just have to catch up naturally.
Yep.
You can't start at where everyone else starts, but like you said, like with a skill, right? This person has been doing it for 40 years or like 10 years and you just started. So just keep going. It's going to be freaking tough and tedious to like find the motivation, but you can do it. Just don't give up. Never give up.
Yeah, and that's really like one of the messages I like to preach to a lot of people, especially when I get into my content talks. When I get up on my funny little podium and I'm just we'll talk about content. Is content, it's a long-term game, and like I'll often I'll reference folks like Nyanas or Mousy. I'm sure like Mouse, she started streaming in like 2017.
Yes.
And she didn't hit like 50 concurrent until like, I think it was like the beginning of like 2020.
Yeah, it was about a 3-year step there, and I did the estimates in here, and I think she was one of the first 500 VTubers ever, actually.
Yeah.
So she had been at it for quite a time. There was just a good straight 3 years where there was enough of an audience. We're talking about upwards to 50 folks or something for a while, and that can keep you going, absolutely. But it wasn't.
Absolutely.
It wasn't anything like what happened in 2020, especially not now. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got folks that are over here like Nanas is another good example. Like she's been in the game just as long as Taka has. Like there's she's been creating content for like a decade and a half almost, or something like that. And it's just a lot of people, like, they see what's going on now, and they see the person's numbers now, and they're just like like, oh, like this is they just like showed up and now they have these numbers. Like no, they've been putting years and years of effort into it, and like it's not to like discourage people to be like, oh, you have to sink years, and they're like, no, like they're good at what they do, and they can create these high levels of engagement and content, and they have these massive communities because they've spent time building it. Like they have time in the game. And like it's also something that not to get like too much in the real world, that's something that a lot of friends of mine that are like very experienced in like stocks and like trading and things like that, they're just like, you can have all the knowledge in the world of the market, but it's time in the market and learning how it works and learning how to like get your stuff going. That's why there are so few people that are successful at it, because they go in, they lose a bunch of money, then they get out. And the people that stick around are the ones who learn how it works. And they're just over here like, yeah, I'm a day trader. I sit at home and I trade stocks and I make money. I make my money make money, because they've learned how to do it over like years of progress.
And so now let's go ahead and talk about another moneymaker as we move into some light news here. We have Hall Live English's rapping reaper, Mori Calliope, who is effectively now, due to her time zone, celebrating her birthday, and had lots and lots of fun call-ins, including a lot from Hall Live, including as well as Iron Mouse and Milky Queen here. So we had a really early birthday countdown, and we'll also be seeing I believe a 3D concert here very soon. From her for her birthday as well. So also saying that she has some huge news coming. She's saying it's going to be the biggest news of her entire career that she's going to be announcing. Amelie called in as well. That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, we have that going on, showing off her new 3D model finally at last. And there's been just killer artwork coming in out of this. This is so metal. I love it. This piece here is actually coming from Ray17, who has, I think, worked on a number of her music video work as well, saying, thank you, Death, for bringing you to us. Happy birthday to Callie. It's wonderful to be part of the team again. Just want to say that as a fan, a viewer, or a friend, always be proud of you. Yeah, really, really cool work here. And also another piece of work here. This is a very awesome flowing hair work here. This coming from Mayel. Happy early birthday. So we'll probably have way more to show off tomorrow for this highly anticipated birthday. And yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. You know, you can kind of look at her accomplishments and such, but
oh yeah,
it's one of those pieces where I think I would say I find that Maury Calliope has a lot more kind of support from actual Western VTubers, a little bit more than even your casual fans of other VTubers, just because she is kind of more open about this journey. And
definitely.
We're seeing we're seeing more and more of the payoff here. Yeah.
I mean,
go
like
ahead.
she had that whole thing, you know, with the off with their heads. You know, it's old news at this point, but you know, that was a kind of turning point for a lot of people, like myself included. Like she is been like I wouldn't say like involved with the community, but she's had been like a sort of like somebody who spurs people on for a hot moment. And like even you go and you like listen to a lot of her songs, like a lot of them are based upon her journey as a content creator, like when you look deeper into them. And I think those are invaluable resources for people who kind of want to get a real like true sense of what it is to like kind of like do things on her level, because you can tell that she pours a lot of herself into the music. And music is this, I would say, almost like raw, often emotion, you know, almost often raw and emotional experience that you can't get from just like having a conversation or something like that.
And we like to ask our chat about this. I've asked a few times in Twitch, but just kind of interested in what you guys in chat may think this big announcement might be. I've seen World Tour. I've seen kind of other ideas about what it may be. I'm interested in what you guys think this big announcement may be. If you'd like to share that in chat, just like to see it. But yeah, there's there's some ideas going around here that are very new for a VTuber doing, I would say. Yeah. I don't even know what a tour would be like for a VTuber, right? But I'm interested. I'm on board with knowing. So we'll see. All right. And speaking of other cultists, we do have Nina Mayaninus, another tentacled VTuber here. This was her first photo that she gave out of her 3D model of almost an uncharacteristic kind of nonplussed look. Got memed a little bit. And this was really also interesting. She came to us with this look on April 1st. It was a very it was a very well, this is like a fan art of it, but it's a very accurate fan art. It was a very uncharacteristic kind of April Fool's kind of stream, because it was almost like we were seeing a brand new character that was going to be rolled out in some fashion here too. Known as the Masked One, or known as also as the Watcher or the Watcher. I want to see more of this character. I want to know what she has plans for this, because it's unique, right? It's more I kind of I think it kind of gives us an idea of what her character creation is maybe about too.
What is the connection to the law?
Right. Like, what can we do with that? And I guess that kind of brings me back. You know, Kabhaal, for your setup and your lore, do you have?
I love law.
Is it a big part of who you are as a VTuber? Do you? Is it more of a theming for you? Because that's what I found is the more powerful part. Is the theming helps kind of set a, I don't know if I'd call it a brand, but it helps others people kind of relate in an interesting way.
It well, with me with lore, like the lore is like purposefully vague, because like I'm hot take, people don't come to VTubers for the lore. That's my hot take. You can use that for content. Like lore is like nice once you have the established community and there's like a call for it and people want to know more about it. But like starting out and like I'm starting to be a VTuber and here's my 25 pages of backstory. Like it sounds bad to say, and this is all on me. This is my opinion. This is no way related with False or Lady or anybody on the things VTubers say, but nobody's going to care about that when you're starting out. You have to give people a reason to care about you, care about your brand, care about you as a character and performer, things like that, before they're going to care about the lore. And even then, a lot of people aren't. I want to watch my hee-hoo funny streamer, and then they move on with their lives.
Right, right.
But for me, like it's very much about branding. It's very much like what people can kind of expect, and it's also a kind of like it's a parody on the social climate of content creation sometimes, because I'm a cult leader. And fandoms can sometimes become very cultish in how they will elevate broadcasters or entertainers to certain levels. And but the thing is also what I did was a lot of people are just like, oh, you worship Cthulhu. I'm like, no, I worship the Gamerian pantheon. And they're like, what the heck is that? And I'm like, so how video games can oftentimes seem a bit too in-depth and real, and maybe you feel like you're staring into another world. I'm just like, well, you're closer to the truth than you might think. And so it's about how video games have kind of like spread their influence over the world and become like this thing that people will devote their lives to, like almost in like a religious capacity in some regards. And there's
the devotion of hours is certainly there. Yes.
Yeah. And it's the lore itself is important. Is it something I want to touch on more as we go along? Oh, absolutely. I don't just want to do creepypastas. I want to do like original like lore videos, almost going into like the kind of like unfiction level of just like talking about how the gaming gods have infiltrated our world and things like that. I have my whole thing of like, have you seen the Violet Sign? They were like, what's that? And I'm just like, well, you're here, so you probably already have. And
nice.
Kayfabe aside, it's a D-pad. Anybody who's ever seen a D-pad on a controller, it's like, you're already under the influence of the gods. And it's something that plays on the aspect of like why people come back and watch streamers, and like why they'll like really get into like this particular streamer. It's supposed to be like this kind of mimetic influence that getting to know these content creators can have on you. So the lore in and of itself it's not integral to who I am, but it sets this kind of expectation and like kind of gives reasoning as to why things work the way they do, and why when the kayfabe is on full blast, why things are handled the way they are. And it sets the tone. It's and that's what I look at with lore.
We have VV-Chan the Dragon, a prior guest of ours, also very recently formed a collab. What was that, yesterday, I think, with you, right, lady? VV-Chan the Dragon. Saying, I don't focus on my lore, I'm a dragon thing. Well, don't forget, VV-Chan, you're also a maid. So we're looking forward to that maid set up. Zozo Horror Show, thank you very much also for the 2, saying Cab's lore is on a bar napkin.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for calling me out. I appreciate it. This is what friends are for.
And then DC saying, and then you have Amelia Watson making lore up out of nowhere. It's there's so many wild approaches to this. Let's see here. We did have an update here for Ina. This was a little surprising, but she's saying she's going to be around sparsely in the upcoming week because she'll be visiting several doctors as well as working on projects. So we're going to see a little bit less Ina. She's having her throat checked and going into some checkups on that. So again, we provided that in our early quick VTuber news this morning, and just wanted to reiterate that today.
Again, I hope she gets better quickly.
Absolutely. Along with that, very, 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 very quickly, we have Takanashi Kiara with Hall Live English. This is a fun tweet. I might be a part-time warrior, but I'm a full-time warrior. It's always it's a humanizing kind of moment. You see people on this kind of level, and it's like, oh yeah, their minds don't stop either, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like they're thinking of they're thinking maybe more about this stuff than we are, even at our level. And it feels like, you look at it, it's like, but wait a second, you made it work. It's done, right? It's out of your mind at this point, right? And
Never done.
apparently not.
With great power comes great responsibility, which comes great worries and insomnia.
I was about to be like, oh, lady, the Spider-Man quote, and then I was like, oh, okay, this got really real. But she's right though. I feel like a lot of people sometimes they forget that, even the people that are like, the super high level of content creation, they're people. They're people, like they worry about things, and they're stressed out about things, and a lot of them, like, this is like their passion. They want to do this because they love this, but they want to do the best that they can do, and brain goblins are bad. Especially when you have like tens of thousands of people watching you. Like you can feel pressured to put on the best show that you can. And if you're not feeling, like how you were talking about earlier, like you'll wake up and you're just like, I'm not feeling it today. Like at our level, it's already burdensome, but like thinking about like, feeling like that and getting ready to stream at their level, it's wow. Like, yeah, it's good that, in my opinion, when especially these larger creators, like they voice concerns like this, because I feel like it does humanize them a little bit more, and it kind of, it helps take them off this pedestal that can often, like, in a way dehumanize them and cause them to be treated in a way that is kind of like more of like a thing than a person.
VV Chan the Dragon, I'm going to go ahead and agree with you. Lady, we need to tape that mic to your face. Lady has a dynamic mic now, and she's kind of getting used to needing to be near a mic, right? Understandable, perfectly understandable. Steve-O, my goodness, thank you for the 50. Saying, just wanted to say, love you all, even the lurkers, haters, and pervs. All together, it makes the experience more memorable. Thank you again so much for the support. Thank you for the 50, Steve-O. Thank you. Yeah, it's something where I have to say, I dropping in to some bigger streams here and there with 1,000 people. I have the, it's one of those wonderful things. I would say that once it's kind of behind you, some of those numbers become a little less intimidating until you see the reactions that then come out, because there's just more and more reactions to what you've said, right? Like, yeah. Normally it's like you do a stream, it's a great stream, and that's kind of it. You don't get a lot out of it. But when you're at this level, people are maybe sometimes talking about it for days. You have crazy people making videos about it and talking about it. So
who would do something like that?
It's just the worst, the absolute worst in the VTuber community would do that. But good, interesting insight there. And next up, yeah, we covered this also earlier in today's quick VTuber news, but we have VShojo's Vebe, who at this time was actually going to be doing a re-debut while we were doing our stream, but came to us with this. I'm sorry, everyone. A bunch of family stuff came up last minute. I feel awful, but the debut will need to be delayed by an additional week while I deal with things IRL. I'm really sorry. She also posted a very quick YouTube video. Immediately got lots of views, so people are aware of this change. Yeah, this is maybe one of the biggest last minute changes at this level, but that's the kind of wonderful thing about it is it's not the end of the world. It's right. We're not doing no one's lives are in the balance here, hopefully. So a change like this
doesn't debut.
Right, it's not the end of the world, thankfully. So yeah, changes like this are being perfectly understood.
Well, I hope the family stuff gets taken care of. That's always disheartening to hear.
Let's see here. DC saying Callie even mentioned during her B-Day countdown stream earlier that whenever she has a stream with Ina, even big collabs, all her anxiety and worrying about streaming disappears. Aww. So nice. Yeah, sometimes just having the right person to bounce off of can immediately make you kind of not, focus on numbers and things like that. I perfectly understand. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
All right. So we also have here Vshoujo Zentrea, and we usually have light news here today, but this is actually some hard-hitting news that we want to share. Very controversial take, saying waffles are superior to pancakes. Waffles
Where's the
are
controversy?
oh my. Again, we have to be clear. Kabhaal does not represent things VTubers say and is his own agent.
Yeah, that's right.
She said what? TV with the love you Zen, but this isn't it. You're getting canceled when you see that. Like, love you Zen, but this isn't it. When you see the this isn't it post, oh, it's over for you. Yeah, there's a lot of reactions here. Lots of reactions here in chat. Thank you for sharing. We have Joel trying to sidestep and saying French toast. That's not the issue at hand, Porcelain Maid. This is not the issue at hand.
Pick a side, Joel. Pick a side.
So it sounds like you're more of a fan of the waffle side.
I mean, where I live, we have Waffle House. Like, look, when certain things happen, that's the only alternative you've got. I've been trained. Okay, in my defense.
Also, I don't have it here, but Onigiru's like, I will show you the fluffiest pancakes. I will give you the fluffiest pancakes. She's definitely in the pancake side. Lady,
I could just eat a piece of cake.
Lady, any opinion? Go ahead. No wrong opinions.
French
no wrong
toast.
opinions. That's not though what we're okay. Anyways,
Unless it's pancake, then it's the wrong opinion.
well, here we have Amelie on the waffle side, giving a good, yes, good to us. Honey Goblin saying here, when the breakfast cakes war begins, whose side will you be on?
Okay, but like bread pudding though?
What is that? Wait a second. Have I had that? What is that?
No one talks about bread pudding.
Is it a breakfast dish though? Or is it
I
like
haven't.
it's like is it one of those like cupcakes I can almost call muffins kind of things? Jesse Lockhart with the 5. When you're drunk off your butt at 3 a.m., waffles are superior. Thank you, Jesse, for the 5.
Like, it's closer to French toast, but
So, this is interesting. I want to move into this. We have Amelie, Monarch, the Monarch VTuber, voice actress, singer, VTuber now. And she makes interesting posts like this. I just sounded like a door closed in the attic. I have no attic. She makes interesting tweets like this. I think she legitimately actually believes her home is haunted. Like, legitimately actually believes it. If I may ask, again, no wrong answers. Do you have any kind of belief in the supernatural? Was there any draw because of something like that? Or has anything kind of happened to you in your real life that you couldn't explain?
There have been instances where things have been unexplainable by conventional means. Fun fact. I say fun fact, but this is getting kind of dark. One of the places where I worked at a haunted house had a very dark history. And it was something that we didn't find out until later.
Oh.
And like the physical location. But it also, like, there was a lot of things that went on there in the witching hours that were oftentimes unexplainable. Like, there would only be like 1 or 2 people there, and things would happen. That's my experience with it. So, am I from Universal Ghost? I don't know, but I've had unexplainable occurrences, and that's maybe like influenced my perception of what can be called the supernatural. Just a smidge.
I'm seeing some interesting comments here. Fourth Sen Slaw says, "Holy crap! I've had nightmares about a ghost dragging me down the stairs. That's terrifying." And then DC saying, "It's definitely real. I used to live next to a cemetery. Oh my! And I saw a figure of a little girl go up the stairs and into my parents' bedroom." I'll share something of my own, actually. Before I do that, lady, did you want to share anything like that? I know you didn't think it was super cool to share. I didn't know if you wanted to or not.
No.
She didn't think it was cool enough, so she's not going to share. I will.
Every experience is valid.
It is. I'll say this. This is the one time where I was like, I have no explanation unless my brain was just not working in the right way. So
It's more believable than you might think.
And I was also very young. This happened when I was very, very, very young. And from time to time, I would go to stay with my grandparents. And they were very quiet, God-fearing, very nice individuals. Okay, so I always had a very relaxing time when I was with my grandparents. And so one night I go to bed. I go into the guest room to go to sleep. And I wake up, and the guest room has a nightlight, so you can kind of see a little bit in the dark. And I roll over, and my grandmother is in the bed with me. And she's never done that before, but I mean, I was young enough where, sometimes parents or grandparents will check on you, and they'll just, pass out on the bed. That can happen. And I turn around, and as a kid, I was always asking for permission for everything. Like, can I do this? Can I do that? Can I do this? I think I had to go to the bathroom, so I was going to ask permission to leave the bed to go to the bathroom. And I guess I woke her up. And she turns to me. And in a voice I've never heard ever from here. Ever. This is like a harsh voice. It was, "Go back to sleep." And I immediately turned around and went back to sleep, like on command.
Terrifying.
I wake up. I wake up the next morning. My grandma's not in the bed. And I'm like, huh. And I just so happened to ask her, "So, were you in the bed with me, Grandma, last night?" And she was like, "No, I was not in the bed with you last night at all." I don't know. The problem that makes me believe this happened was, I don't believe it was I just can't believe it was a dream because the room was so accurate to the guest room. I remember feeling things. I remember just the look was accurate. Like, I woke up and there was someone there, and I don't know who was in the bed with me that night and who told me to go back to sleep. So it's just that one thing in my brain where I'm like, this doesn't add up.
I mean, mentally, your brain is most likely your biggest enemy, especially in a state of panic or overexposure to tiredness. More so even if the environment, let's say, has certain fungi or parasite or whatever. Like, I remember in France, there's a recent discovery of like a certain fungal or parasite type thing that was in the air during the witch trials, and it was like really interesting. I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, people were just hallucinating shit, which is most likely the case for all things. I've had some really horrible dreams that, like, I just don't believe it can happen in reality. I'm a person of science, and if anything does, it's science because my brain is working off the charts to trick me. Because it's also like the thing, like the deprivation of, remember, like, if you are in, like, a space, like, let's say, like, very dark, like, what's it called? Like the senses, your sense deprivation.
Sensory deprivation?
Yeah, sensory deprivation, and then added to that panic, and then added to the rumors that you've been hearing about this creepy place. There you get like your brain to fill in the gaps for you, right? My dreams are fucking wild.
I'd really like to think that, again, it was just my brain short-circuiting in
Probably
some way.
Was.
The thing is, I just really feel it wasn't a dream of some type. That's all. Because I'll say this, I don't remember dreams. I tried. I would actually, wake up, write notes about the dream I had, and later I'd go back and look at the notes. This doesn't make any sense to me later. Like, It was just useless. I only remember one other dream of mine because it was so cool. But I think I was like Simon Belmont from Castlevania, and I whipped Dracula so hard that he blew up. Yeah, I whipped him with because Simon Belmont has a whip.
Oh,
that's his like weapon.
Of, like, whip them, like when they say like the husband whip.
Yes, I whipped Dracula.
Have you seen him in the latest Netflix adaptation? He's whippable.
He just power stance in front of Dracula and he whipped into the nay-nade.
And I whipped Dracula so hard he just blew up into like an ocean of blood. I literally take off. No, this is cool. And then I take like the top of his coffin and like surf out of his castle.
Surf's up, bro.
On the blood tide. I was like, that is too cool. I remembered that forever. That
bro, you know, I think worst like nightmare. I don't know. Does nightmares count as like horror dreams or something? Because I've never really had like a horror experience IRL. It's mostly just in like my dreamscapes.
Yeah, we have some people sharing some of that in chat. Feel free.
Well, like when my first puppy died, it was very traumatic for me, and so my nightmares were very consistent. Of the same theme, almost replaying like a cassette player, like every night is always the same. And the common theme was that, you know, we buried my puppy in the backyard, but then she would come back, right? She would crawl out, but she'd look like a zombie. But I'd still love her anyway, and I'd treat her like a regular thing. And then like I remember like intimately playing with her, and then like her body would, as I was playing with her body would melt into like this little puppy, and then this little like puppy of herself, and then I would play with that, and then that puppy would like in its skin would inverse and bleed out, and then I would try like grasping at like her like melted corpse and just keep like, you know, trying to like put her back together and be like, no, like come back, like you're okay, you're not, and then like, you know. And then I'd wake up, and then the dream would repeat for a few months until I accepted the grieving.
Trauma is rough.
Yeah, I still have dreams about like school and family members that are long gone, right? Like there's just parts that like things I don't like thinking about, honestly, and they arise back in dreams and they're upsetting in that way. It's like I've been ambushed by my own mind that way.
How dare my own mind ambush me? How could you do this to me, brain?
Personally mind fucked.
Let's move along very quickly because I know we're kind of running out of time, but I don't know if you could stick around a little bit longer because we could go
sure, absolutely.
Here we have Elena Lazar, Blood Queen, also self-labeled as a horror VTuber.
Yes, she's amazing.
And she had this saying here, what? No horror. Who says Vor isn't horror? It's Kirby time. Is Kirby a horror game?
Did you see the amount of like things he could suck up? That's horrific in and of itself.
Like,
do you have a position on this, Kabhaal?
Do I have a position on? I mean, like, look, if Kirby showed up, I knew what he was capable of, and like he's looking around, and I'm the only thing there. You best bet I'd be terrified. But like, please no, don't. You're not going to get anything beneficial out of me. Spare me, Kirby.
Point taken. That illustration. That's all you need. That's all. Horror game confirmed.
All right, so we have a Bow Buddy. This is actually safe for work. This is one of his more safe for work pieces here. Bow Buddy. Patreon request, Warhammer 40k, Tyranids worshipping Kirby as their god. The Tyranids kneel, all round one, the ceaseless hunger, the gaping maw, the pink hole that sucks and swallows all. Thank you, lady. Thank you for this submission to us today.
Bow Buddy makes amazing comics, and they are just...
Always
I like the
fun.
YouTube dubs of them.
Next up, very quickly, we have Face Connects, Pipkin Peppa while she has McDonald's here in her banner, I saw she is now fired from McDonald's. She is no longer working there. And she had this tweet. I felt this one. I really appreciate you guys sticking by my streams regardless of the crappy internet situation. I'll keep trying to get it fixed. Every time the stream goes red, my heart drops, but it is so relieving at the end when everyone's still there regardless. Yeah, I was experiencing this most especially back in December. It's interesting the things that it can just throw an entire stream off, right?
Yeah.
The smallest things, and I'm getting better about not focusing on them, but my goodness. Mappadale, thank you very much for the 5. Thank you. Mappadale, thank you. I don't know. Kabhaal, have you had instances where things just... one little thing doesn't work and it's like it feels like the whole stream is off?
I actually had that not this past Friday, but the Friday before that. I was supposed to play Ghostwire Tokyo because I was excited for it. I was like, oh, this is kind of like a cyberpunk, like it's got some horror elements to it. It's it's an adventure and like it's going to be interesting. And like I just could, for the life of me, by all the will of the gods, I could not get this game to function. It was just desyncing and like the graphics and the audio was off and it was lagging. And I'm just so like, look, okay, I built my stream, my community, they helped me build a like top of the line gaming PC. We're over here with like, like a, what is it, like a Ryzen 9 5950, a 3090. This thing has like like 20 terabytes of storage in it. Just a ridiculous amount of RAM. Like this thing eats anything that I throw at it. Ghostwire Tokyo? Absolutely not. It absolutely refused to work. And like it was, trying to work out through it on stream, as you do. And it's like, oh, maybe if we update the graphics drivers. And I'm not as technically proficient as I used to be. And so we updated the graphic drivers, which of course crashed the stream. The stream came back and then like we still couldn't get it to work. And like, I think I had, when I refunded it on stream, I had 30 minutes in the game, hadn't even played it. It was just like a solid 30 minutes of trying to get this thing to work. And I will say that absolutely, it ruined my day. It just like, I also had things I was dealing with on top of it, but sometimes, and a lot of people said this, it can be kind of like a Jenga tower. Like you can have, because we all have all things that we're dealing with in life, outside of broadcasting, outside of everything like that. And you can kind of set it to the side, but like it can build up and like one thing, like the stream just going and refusing to work, it could just send it all tumbling down. And they're just like, today was a horrible day. I'm a horrible broadcaster. You can get like this really, really bad toxic mind thing. And like, essentially go into a doom spiral. And so, yeah, like I'm not immune to it. I'm
my mind immediately jumps to like, why would anyone come back, right? Yeah. Like if this guy is just having his streams shut down randomly, that will upset me. Well, there's no reason for me to come back. And I literally stopped streaming a lot in the holiday season because my internet service provider was just not providing any upload at all, like none, for weeks on end. I actually had to change my entire internet service provider because of it. Actually, yeah, it's just not up to the demands of 2022, let alone streamer demands. So it's amazing. It's amazing. I think I've gotten better about these things, so we've had interviews where my own model wasn't working and I turned myself into a PNG and we made it work. It's also exciting when you can make it work and turn things around. But the most thing I'm impressed is our audiences and how they put up with it and
absolutely
come back. Yeah.
Communities are like a lot of, I'll get this and I'll say this a lot. People are just like, oh, Cap, thank you for putting on the show. Thank you, for like building this community and things like that. And I'm just like, I just hit start stream and, I pal around in Discord sometimes and I'd like draw nifty things and have a funny voice and, apparently a good laugh. But it's the audience, it's the viewership, it's the community that like makes these spaces what they are. And absolutely, like their willingness to like sit through things and like help streamers out and, like help them work through technical issues. It's astounding, and it reinforces my opinion that people are good. It's just a lot of good people are busy trying to not have everything go sideways in their life. That's why they're very soft-spoken or often quiet.
Also hearing here in the comments, I also like watching False suffer when something goes wrong. Oh, I see. Okay, this is explaining it. This is explaining it.
Suffering is content.
It is. Let's take a look at some interesting suffering here. We have Ayu. I had Lady talk about this VTuber, but she didn't quite talk about this VTuber. Jellyfish Mage, who likes to sing, draw, and game, because we had a different look for Ayu on April Fool's, actually, as an entirely different type of VTuber. Goki-chan was her name. And this is the wildest thing, because of all people, Irani EO15 of Hololive Indonesia replied, "I don't know who you are, but I love you." Like, to get recognized for your April Fool's version is quite a thing. I struggle with this. I want to bring on Robo more. I'm still kind of working on the newer version of him. So I have like identity crisis going on too. But any wild radical updates that you may be thinking of changing for Kabhaal and design wise? Is that on the table at all, do you think?
So
or how much you may want to talk about that or not?
There is a summer model in the design phase.
Ooh.
Because we did get close to 2,000 subscribers on the channel.
Wow.
At one point in time. And like the goal was 3,000. It was like, this was back during like the hot tub meta. And it was like, Cab, hot tub win, hot tub win, hot tub win. I'm like, I'll tell you what. If we get to 3K, I'll do a hot tub stream with a special summer model. And people were like, what? But, of course, we were small. And I also set the goal really high because I didn't want to do it. But they did almost get to 2,000. Like, literally. Like, I think it was like 20 subs away or something like that. And I kind of wanted to make a fun summer model anyways. Which is very much like the 1920s, like, striped bathing suit, like Gomez Adams style.
Yes.
Something along those lines. I think I've posted it on Twitter before. But that is in the works. I'm working on a 2.0 design. I'm working on it. I don't know when it's going to be out, but it is in the process.
Very nice.
Lot that, things aren't going to change. It's just, I'm going to see if we can, maybe bump the quality up a little bit more. And, add on a little bit of, accoutrements and things of that sort. People are just like, Cab, you're level 2 cult leader now. And I'm just like, maybe. So who knows? Sometime this year we may level up.
Very nice. Yeah, I think in talking with Pumpkin last week, she is planning hopefully around July or so summer, some kind of other different upgraded design, evolved design, I would say, of her own as well. Yes. So lots of different designs coming up this summer, it sounds like, for a lot of our prior guests. All right, I'm going to skip just a little head here. We do have Niji Sanji English's and Alouette, the songbird of Niji Sanji English, saying, if I'm trying to hide my job occupation, what would be the best way to describe being a VTuber and heavily imply that it's not? Petra Gurin replying to her, project manager and content creator at a Japanese tech firm is the reply there. Is this effectively like your full-time work? Do you do anything else outside of what you do for your streams?
No, I actually, I talk about this openly, so I'm okay talking about it. I'm retired U.S. military, so I get a check from Uncle Sam for having a pulse. Which has allowed me to devote an inordinate amount of time to what I do, which I do accredit to a large majority of why I've been able to work the whole content scene and everything as well as I have, is because I can literally no life this. But Yeah, this is what I do full time. On my taxes, I said I was a live entertainer. Because I'm fairly certain if I told the IRS I was a VTuber, they'd be like, what? What is this?
Live entertainer, is that like an adult-oriented profession? Is that?
Now that you say it like that, oops.
Very quickly, also we have Nichisanji English's Nino Kosaka. This is a slightly older one. As we may know, she recently had offline fun here, and a lot of actual cosplay coming out of it. Actually, this is a very, very popular offline collaboration. Saying, I really needed this. Thanks for letting me take time off. I can't wait to stream every day in April for my honey. So she takes a vacation, then immediately begins streaming every day after that. Let me take care of that. That's you in chat, right?
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
let me finally wrench you. Thank you.
Somebody called me a cam ghoul. I hate it, but it's too good.
How often are you streaming? Is it is there any regular schedule of any kind, or is there any planning to that?
I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 11 a.m. to around 4 to 5 p.m. EST. Or, you know, if we want to go in the time that I actually like edge things in, from 1100 to to 16 or 1700. Why? Because there's certain things of military service that always stick with you. And it's also easier to coordinate with the Europeans when you like go into the when you go into 24-hour time. It's like, what is AM, PM? And it's like, don't worry about it. It's a dumb American thing.
Lady, are you
confusion?
Are you okay, lady? You're really twitching out here. Like, I thought she was just like leaning her head a little bit.
Yeah,
She's
that's
like,
what I thought. I was just like, okay. But yeah, that's my regular schedule. I tend to stick to. I need to get better about putting schedules out, but I want to redo my schedule post that I like put all my like timelines and stuff on. And I've also found that I feel bad if I put something on the schedule and then it's like, nope, we're gonna change it last minute because this isn't, you know, I'm not vibing with it, or I'm not, you know, it can feel constraining sometimes. But I do tend to like keep the same times, same days. And because that also like leaves days open so I can do things like this, but also gives me time to rest, which I'm going to be completely honest, like voice acting every stream, I kind of need it.
A dirty Tristana says, I have a question for Kabhaal. Does he have the spins? Thank you for the 5.
I'm the spins?
Does that mean your model can spin around? I wonder if there's any elaboration from that or not.
I'm confused.
Yeah, feel free to elaborate if you'd like to anytime. Yeah, it's a piece where for our pieces here, we have an understanding of when is best for our YouTube content to go up. For us, it's around like 6 p.m. Eastern. We just know that it performs better. So our whole goal is to get a video out around that time if possible. It doesn't always work out. And I've learned not to stress about that now and just let the streams kind of go as they go. So there's this extra little bit that drives the timing for us. But yeah, the earlier timing we've heard is especially good for growth. Because I can say, you know, once you're in that beyond like the 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, kind of the time we started here today, on normal days, it's hard. You're competing with a whole other class of entertainers.
Oh yeah.
That are just bigger, and not to say they're better, but they're bigger, and there's more of the pie they're taking out. Yeah. All right. Let's see here very quickly. Mr. Rios saying my new SM7B, that's a microphone that me and Lady have, arrived, and it's great and all, but this packaging looks a little
Oh no!
Lady, do you still have the box to the mic?
Mhm.
Does it look like this inside?
I didn't check.
I
saw the microphone vent.
Also, Mr. coming to us with this. This was an interesting post. Even though it's April Fool's, please don't impersonate others within the company. It can cause big misunderstandings for a lot of people within and outside the company. Using my name, profile picture, and description is a bit weird. This is, of course, for April Fool's. And which, of course, was immediately replied to. Plenty of his fellow contemporaries. Vox was actually impersonating Reimu, and vice versa. Bao and Vienna were impersonating each other, of course. So it was kind of more of a do as I say, not as I do kind of instance there. And we even had this was really fun. We had even Vienna and Bao actually exchange their actual avatars and their models and streamed with them, right? So as a matter of fact, they were probably on each other's streams. That's how much they trust each other, I believe. So this was unnerving in a new, different way that we were not expecting. Any fun that you had on April Fools of any kind? Anything like that?
I don't know what you're talking about. April Fools? When was that? I don't know anything about an April Fool's stream.
Specifically for like a Friday stream this past Friday? Exactly.
My mind seems to be blanking on it. Maybe it's me working with some shattered shards of sanity. A little bit I have left. I don't recall anything like that. I think maybe I was kind of like checked out a little bit that day. Yeah. No, in all seriousness, we actually we did a real voice stream. And I kept my
handsome face on the
what
entire time.
Wait, I've never seen this.
You've never
Chad
seen
Ball.
This? That's right. The true leader of the cult of the violet side. The ultimate in male VTubing. Yes. The divination I tasted that day was delectable.
But anyways,
I call this the Mary Dog effect. We just can't help but go all in on the gentleman bastard version of ourselves is what I call it. Have you had that face for a bit of time? Is that new, or is
I've had that face for a while. It was so I made an emote on Twitch because I started out drawing like all of my own emotes, and so I just drew like a handsome Squidward version of myself on emote. And when my model creator was making the model, Sapaki Joe, he saw that, and he just I didn't ask for it. He just put it in there, and I didn't know about it until he gave me the model, and I was just like.
Oh,
it was
wow.
like, he labeled it as the oh no face. I was like, oh no, this is going to be, incredibly spooked face where I'm just over here and I'm just like, but no, it was a handsome Squidward face, and it's all downhill from there.
Kiyazuki, thank you so much for the 2. Here we have thank you again for the 2, Kiyazuki. We have Sabaki Joe here, 3D artist. And
so amazing.
Yeah. Any way that you found them, if I may ask?
I actually found them through Zozo Horror Show, which if you scroll down, that is the newest model that they just made for Zozo.
Very nice.
Does amazing work. Like, he is able to accomplish like so many style. Like, he can go a huge swath of styles, and he can go everything from like the kind of like Western Borderlands look to like a Pixar like very like animated movie sort of look to like full on like anime. Like, his range is astounding, and he's just a pleasure to work with, and it's been amazing to see him get so many chances to work with cool people and now do something that he loves as his profession, because like he's made models for Zozo Horror Show, for me, for Party Demon S. He's currently working on a model for Heavenly Father. Just like lots of people have being able to see his quality and are now just like, this is the man I've been looking for. So yeah, Joe's just awesome.
One of the final VTubers we're going to bring up here is Rose Doodle. A wonderful good people, as she's known.
Yes.
Normalcy rejected. Thank you very much for the 20. Thank you very much, Normalcy rejected. Oh, hi, FalseEyeD. I'm glad I have our handsome horde host, our crazed cult leader. One of his menaces says hello. Thank you so much for the 20. Thank you. And I saw I saw this on her timeline. This is I think this is a thank your fans for this electronic bidet. So it looks like we have I believe this might be a throne gift of some kind here. But
just trying to take care of the streamer.
This is really interesting. We're actually getting botted by Japanese accounts here.
Huh, interesting.
I wonder what they're saying. Oh
I don't
well.
know. Oh well.
SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm actually enjoying. I'm sorry. I'm kind of enjoying this. This is different botting. YouTube. We generally would have like adult sites botting us. So now we have Guy Ferrari. Let me actually take before we cut that out, guys. I'm gonna do something interesting here. I'm gonna go actually and block what they're saying. Actually, yeah. So there's some actual moderation that YouTube does allow, and I think I can try something like this. But yeah, the reason why I was bringing up the day, I was just gonna ask if you had any kind of a throne or gifts. Nothing like that yet.
No, I have a throne, and we've had a an interesting selection. And they're not like as wild as like look. Okay, I've seen Buff and Shia's like throne lists. That's an experience in and of itself. I think like maybe the wildest thing that I've got was maybe like a roll of like purple duct tape. I talked about like Gundam models like one time on the stream, and then like a bunch of people just added like Gundam models to my throne. And I'm just like, so that's how that works. But no, like people just like they screamed at me. They were just like, "Come up in a throne." I'm like, "Fine, the throne's open. The throne is open. Stop pestering me about it." And they were like, "What are you going to put on there?" I'm like, "Horror t-shirts. Sure, why not?" Because that's all I could think of.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. I do have just this. I want to say again, we're gonna have Arena's son here as our guest next week. So once again, we're gonna have Reina available, and yeah, this is gonna be exciting here. The Heavenly Demon, but. Nice. Meanwhile, any other plans or anything else you'd like to go ahead and share with us today?
Well, nothing out of the ordinary. Like I said, my normal schedule, it's, Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. What I'm looking at doing right now, like large majority of content is going to be, Elden Ring, or, maybe I'm thinking of doing like some more horror games on Fridays. We also have another like animated creepypasta that's in the work, but for the most part it's the regular stuff. We're gonna do some Elden Ring Monday, probably Thursday. Oh no, probably Monday. We might have a just chatting stream Thursday where we talk about content. So if anybody has questions about content creation, or the like kind of like mindset of content creation, or looking into analytics or things of that sort, stop by. It'll be an open forum that will be, open to like no question is off the table unless it's, like offensive or something like that. But, Wednesday, we're going to be continuing working on that Lord Commander Chaos art. And then Friday, we might be doing something spectacularly spooky. And as far as that goes, I think the only event I have maybe coming up is, January, February, March, April, May, June. Yeah, June. June the 9th will be my 2-year creativersary.
Ooh.
that will be like my 2 years of creating content. But other than that, like things are they're just going along, and I'm happy to be here. Because the community won't let me leave. Help, I'm trapped in the basement.
Blackblood, thank you for the 5. Saying, I'm gonna bounce. Tell Cab he better improve on taking compliments, or I'm gonna find him and I'm gonna bust his knee. I'll do something. He'll do something. So thank you, Blackblood, for the 5.
It's funny because I don't have kneecaps. It's just tentacles.
All right. Yeah, I think we're good here. I'm sorry. I'm really enjoying these bots. Actually, I'm sorry, but
perfectly fine. Like, I'm gonna be honest. It's part of the reason I got off of YouTube streaming. Like, when I was starting out, I was getting like bots and people coming in and just saying like weird champ stuff, and I was like, yeah.
They're so off the wall this time. I'm having some fun. Sorry, but yeah, it's a fun piece, but we were actually wrapping up anyways.
Okay.
We're not cutting this short. But thank you so much for your time with us as the horror VTuber host that you are. And again, we'll be back next week with Rain of Sun. Thanks again, everyone, for being here with us today. And we'll once again, we'll have more things VTubers say for you soon. Later, everybody.
Bye.